Hey friends, my name's Ciotti, and the goddamn camera is frozen already. Are you kidding me? Hold on. My name's Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Canon, the new version of Canon's webcam utility software is worthless. And it has just been giving me problems for days. I can't figure out where to get the old version of the software. Somebody put a link in my Discord, but it didn't take me to anywhere that I could actually get the old software. Hey. All right, so let's see. This'll get us by for a couple of minutes at least, and then I'll have to do that again. That was the 2S Walksnail 75mm freestyle rig. On T-Motor 1002, 19,000 kV, 18,000 kV motors scaled down to 75%, motor limited down rather. Gemfan 1610 props. This is the Mobula 7 V3 frame, Mobula 6 old school canopy, Walksnail light setup, ORT micro V antenna, and the 12 amp Betaflight AIO that does not have a USB port on the bottom. It's the V3 Betaflight 12 amp ELRS F4. It says on the internet that it's 1S, but it's actually 1 to 2S. It's even silk screened on it that it's 1 to 2S. I don't know why all the websites just say that it's 1S. I think Betaflight's own site says that this is only 1S. But yeah, it is 1 to 2S, and it's been working totally fine. I had one that I put probably a dozen batteries through, and then I broke a couple of the pads off. It was totally my fault. I replaced it with this one, soldered the wires on in a way that they won't rip the pads off, and it's been totally fine. I haven't slammed this thing over and over and over and over again. When I put Walksnail into these tiny whoops, I don't fly them super, super, super hard anymore. the Walksnail setup is kind of expensive, and it's not going to be as durable as like an analog whoop. And so even though this is a freestyle rig, and I have like a 1S 65mm one of these that, again, I do consider to be a freestyle rig, I just don't pound on them, and that's okay. The analog rigs are the ones that are like bulletproof and you just beat the living hell out of. You got to be willing to fly really good on those analog rigs for anybody to be willing to watch the analog flight footage. On these Walksnail rigs, the flight footage looks so good, the quality of the camera is so good that you cannot fly so hard and people will still be willing to watch it, is how I sort of think about it. But yeah, there you go, friends. In the chat, Curtis Hayes was first, Spaceman Spiff, LOL the Kiddison, Tiny Shark, Frank Nicholas, Andres Shapiro, Smoking Dog Cujo, Douglas 6, Everyday with Bruno, Random Videos Daily, Shoot FPV, Crom, Thomas K, Ant BBTHC, Scotty Scott, QP Silver XP, I'm sorry, Q Silver XP, CB FPV, Random, no, we got that, Scuffed Ukrainian, Uriel, FP Avery, Metal Dirtskin, Curtis Hayes again, Super Deluxe is in the house, C Joe with a 199 Super Chat, he says it's alive, thank you, homie. FP Avery, Metal Dirtskin, Notice, Demo FPV. Thanks for coming, friends. What was I just gonna say? Hey, look, a non-flickering camera over here. Isn't that nice? Isn't that amazing? Hang on. All right, we're good. Thanks to Kevin James. Massive shout out to Kevin James. Hey, Kevin, if you're watching this, Kevin sent me 2 Logitech webcams that just been sitting in a bag. He hasn't used them in forever. This is the C920, the smaller webcam. When you wiggle the wire at all, the webcam shuts on and off. So, Kevin, what do you want me to do? You want me to throw that away? You want me to mail it back? I can't use it. But yeah, this C920 here looks... It's funny. In this apartment now, even though I hate these Logitech webcams, I have a C900, a C910, and now a C920. So we're getting newer and newer with these Logitech webcams. I use them because they have the right field of view, they have the right focal distance, and they're nice and small. They're like this size. There it is, right? So they're nice and small. This mount here is like on the front of the toolbox, right? And so like a big camera sitting up here, it just won't work. This magnifying light thing is in the way. Yeah, I gotta have a small kind of webcam sitting up there so it's not getting in the way of everything. And then this other one that I use like by hand, I mean, I guess this could be bigger, but like it sits over here on the desk. It sits on the corner of the desk right here. And I would prefer for it to be small so that it's just not taking up a ton of space. My like mission control right here has a lot of shit on it. And so I prioritize like smaller stuff here so that I can have like my workbench area here, computer here. This is kind of like the on deck circle / like where the laptop sort of lives. So if I need to use the laptop a bunch, I can actually roll my chair over and sit there at the laptop. Hey, I'm pretty sure that I am gonna put another hole in the wall for this, and I think this is just gonna be it. I think I'm gonna put it right there, and that's that. I think that's gonna be the new setup back here. That Ciotti, that giant Ciotti. Tell me in the chat, what do you like better, the new setup or old? Type new or type old? Old is the giant Ciotti FPV thing back there. New setup is it's a shame that the F40 gets cut off a little bit, but I can actually swap these whenever I want. But yeah, this is all art from Blip Shift. If you're into cars at all, Blip Shift is a website that's going to cost you a ton of money. Fair warning. And so, yeah, they have this artwork, and they can either print posters for you. The posters are really high quality, or they can do T-shirts. I have tons of Blipshift T-shirts. These are two of my favorite cars of all time. This is a 2000 Cobra R. This is a Ferrari F40. I've gotten to drive and autocross this. I will never, ever, ever get to drive and/or autocross that. And then this is a very similar version of my Miata, actually. It's got the same front lip, similar wheels. Yeah, same body style. NB, second generation. Mick Mucus likes the old setup. Oh, damn. FP Avery likes the new. Douglas 6 likes the new. Done! New it is! 2-1. In a vote of 2-1, the new setup. I can always go back to the old setup. I hung these two guys on the existing holes that I smashed into this wall. So all I'm going to be doing is putting one additional hole up top here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put that one extra hole up higher. And so if I do go back to the old thing, there will be a hole above the old artwork, but maybe I can just squirt some red toothpaste in there. Did you guys know the trick when you move out of an apartment, instead of like taking, going the extra mile to really work hard and put spackle on the holes that you leave in the wall, you just take toothpaste, and you just take some white toothpaste and just boop. And the nice thing about that is that it smells really good. So when the next tenant goes to put a thumbtack in the wall, it'll just go right through, but it'll smell nice. So if you guys want to support me on the world's strangest adventure, also known as doing FPV full-time, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a million ways that you can help me out. Contact info up on the top here. Streaming schedule is here. Did I fix the streaming schedule yet? Wednesday at 10. Look at me. Patreon helps me the most. This is the best possible way that you can support me for as little as $3 a month, which is only 10 cents a day, you filthy animals. You can jump on there. Lots of benefits. YouTube playlist with over 90 videos. Patreon-only live streams, sketchy flying, half-done edits, all kinds of fun stuff there. A couple of different Facebook groups, one for selling, one for just hanging out. Full Discord access, which is going to get you into stuff like the Video Collective, where you can post videos that I play during the giveaways, the first Monday of every month. You can rent out a box from me with all of the M3 stick ends that are on the internet, so you can actually try them. You can rent out a set of weights to dial your digital scale in. All kinds of fun stuff going on for the low price of 10 cents a day. Etsy has some really fun stickers and hardware, and I just added a whole bunch more stuff over there. And there's a bunch of full builds actually coming to the Etsy store either tonight or tomorrow. I took the pictures. I just need to make the actual listings. Also over on Etsy, there's lots and lots of stickers. Buy some of my stickers, yo. Show your love by smacking my stickers onto everything that you own. Look at them all. Look at this one. This one glows in the dark. What do you think of that? Don't tell me what you actually think. Be nice. Clam Man, reminding you just to never give up, ever, ever, ever. Nut Grabber sticker. How come nobody buys the Nut Grabber sticker? Are you guys not as infantile as me? For any of the car nerds, Kill All Carbon. Many of these sticker designs have been done by our very own CiottiFPV. If you need graphic design done and you go through anyone other than CiottiFPV, you're out. You're banned from the channel. If you try to come in and say shit, I'm going to beat you verbally. Verbal abuse. Fair warning. Look at them all. Look at all these absolutely amazing stickers that you can buy and support me over on my Etsy store. Support your boy by buying some stickers. Look at them all. You can't tell me there's not a couple stickers in there that you absolutely love. Come on. Different sizes? Some are matte, some are holographic. Get yourself something nice. You deserve it. And support your buddy at the same time. If you support me, I will keep doing this. And I'll tell you what to buy and what not to buy. And we can hang out together and have some laughs and pee our pants. Because, as we all know, you're not cool unless you pee your pants. Teespring for some fun shirts and other random apparel. Fiverr if you want to get 8+ years of FPV knowledge delivered to you one-on-one. I can get you to fly better, tune better, build better, or anything in between. Got a whole bunch of questions that you want to get actual good answers to rather than more than 50% horrible, terrible, dead wrong info on Reddit and Facebook? I got you. Contact me through Fiverr or just message me on any of this stuff up here, and we'll get you scheduled up. PayPal if you want to do a super chat to support me directly, but you don't want YouTube to take 30%. And then look at all these affiliate links, yo. It's 2024, my friends. If you're not using affiliate links when you buy things on the internet, you are hurting someone's family. You are the reason that someone's kids will grow up malnutritioned and vitamin C deficient. It's not vitamin C. It's, I forget what it is. But it's on you. It's on you. Don't be the reason that someone dies. There's only so long that I can keep that up before I break. Amazon, Get FPV, Pyro Drone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, Weebly, Beta FPV, FPV Cycle, Ummagawd, Brain 3D, HD Zero, Fly, Wii Mix, Banggood, Camera Butter, AliExpress. If you are not smart enough, to remember before you buy something on the internet to check this affiliate link list, I think the camera is going to shit the bed. Why does OBS say encoding overloaded? I think I need to take one of these cameras. I think I need to start unplugging one of these cameras, yo. I have a funny feeling that some of these problems that I've been having are because I've got 4 cameras plugged in all the time. Let's try this. I'm going to unplug one of the 4. And we're going to see what's what. We're going to see if things get any better. I have unplugged the VRX that I fly through. So it's on you guys to let me know if the performance of the stream is affected in any way from now on. From what you've seen thus far in the last 24 minutes and the next 24 minutes, let me know, please. Yeah, if you can't remember to go to someone's website and or YouTube video and click their affiliate link before you check out. Who can remember that? I certainly can't. There's a life hack, yo. If you still use bookmarks, change your bookmarks to your favorite content creators' affiliate links. If you don't use bookmarks, like me, but when you want to go to Amazon, you just go to your URL bar and type AMA for Amazon. All you need to do is remove your current suggestions. The little X off on the right here, you can remove that suggestion. I refreshed Chrome, and so now this is perfect. So like when I type AMA, right, it gives me Associate Central and ViFly and all this garbage. Watch this, right? My affiliate link is not up here, but watch this. Ready? I'm gonna pull this window out of here. I'm gonna just hold Command and click my Amazon affiliate link a few times, right? So I've now gone to my Amazon affiliate link 4 times. Watch this. Next time you go up here and you type AMA, it's gonna think that you want to go to that affiliate link, and then you click it, and it goes directly to my affiliate link. It puts CiottiFPV into your, there's encoding overloaded again. It's gonna put my code into your shopping cart, and the next time you check out, I'm gonna get a small percentage of your total order. So that right there is such a super simple, easy way to, I'm trying to like troubleshoot this shit. To Bing Bong the Fling Flong. To use someone's affiliate links when you check out. There's no reason not to, other than you forgot to do it, which I did. I forgot to do it for the longest time until I did that little trick, and now I don't forget anymore because I don't need to remember. CiottiFPV tag. Hey, if you want to talk to me in the chat, all you got to do is type Ciotti. Wow, this is really bad. Hold on. Let me see if this C920, it is coming in 1080. Let me drop down to 720. That'll almost certainly help, but it makes it a lot smaller. That's super annoying. Go back to 1080. I forgot to start using, I want to try Firefox. I forgot, though. Here's Firefox app. I need to put it in the in my dock down here. All right, Firefox is now down in the dock. I will try Firefox. I will try to remember to try Firefox for the next stream. Oh man, it's really bad. Oh boy. Wow, unplugging the VRX did absolutely nothing. Taking a look at the activity monitor to see what's running. Yeah, it's just Chrome and OBS Studio. Oh no, it's also EOS webcam utility. Yeah, the new version of Canon webcam, it just hammers the hell out of the computer. Super annoying. Super annoying. I wish there was a way to get the one of the older versions. They were much less bloated. It appears. CBFPV says, is an 1104 8600 kV motor fine for a small 2 to 2.5 inch Cinewhoop? Probably not. 1104 is probably not big enough to stay cool on a Cinewhoop that's going to be carrying, like Cinewhoops are carrying around HD cameras, and HD cameras are heavy. And so, yeah, an 1104, that's like a toothpick motor right there. That's even, you could even argue that that's small for a toothpick motor. A lot of the newer 3-inch toothpicks are running like 1303s, 1204, stuff like that. So 1104 is a little small for that. If you're trying, oh my god. So this is not OBS fucking up here. This is webcam utility shitting the bed. Let me try this. Let me try quitting out of it. It won't let me. Oh, nope, there it goes. Let's try quitting out of it and relaunching it. Does that prevent me from having to turn the camera off and on and then unplug and replug the camera? No. It won't even relaunch. What the hell's going on? Oh my god. Is this real life? Can you please just... There it goes. If anybody is a genius and can figure out how to download older versions of Canon EOS Webcam Utility Pro, for the love of God, let me know. You'll be helping out everybody that watches these live streams. Yeah, those are a little too small, CB. Put those on a lightweight toothpick though, and they'll rail. That's a really good KV. Metalritzkin says, reposting from last time while I nodded early napping, suddenly there came a tapping as a Canon camera crapping on itself once more. Notice says, honest question, could one plug in their iPhone as a main cam? Absolutely. Oh, Jesus Christ. So the frame rate shitting on itself is an OBS problem. The camera just completely freezing is a Canon EOS utility problem. I'm dealing with multiple things shitting their pants all at the same time. It's live streaming is just great. It's the best thing you can do. You should all definitely do it. I'm definitely not being insane. Hey, some new patrons. Marshall Moore, welcome to the Gangly Gang, my friend. Thank you for jumping on board. Angelo Minuti, welcome to the Gangly Gang, buddy. Thank you for the support. Miguel T, I'm not going to wreck that last name on you. Thank you for jumping on to the gangliest of gangs and all the gang. Oh, Jesus. Todd Halston, your email got buried, man. I apologize. I marked your email the same way that I mark Patreon emails. I've got your 5-in-1 here. My apologies, man. I will get this shipped out tomorrow for you. I'm going to mark this differently. I'm actually going to open this email up and let it sit on my desktop here. That's my bad, brother. That's totally on me. I'm also going to mark this as unread, though, just to make absolutely sure it doesn't disappear. There's my Weebly order. We did a mailbag with that yesterday or the day before. I thought there was one more. Is there not one more in here? There it is. Dagnella, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for your support. If you want a shout out, all you gotta do is join the Discord, and you will get a well-deserved shout out for being a supporter. It means a lot. The only way I can do this is with you guys jumping onto the Patreon, literally. It pays the bills. It keeps the lights on. The flying gigs are very hit or miss. I had 2 or 3 months this summer that I didn't get a single one. And then I got a few of them right on top of one another. And so, yeah, there's absolutely no way that I could continue to do this. What is that about? That I could continue to do this without you guys supporting me on Patreon. What is this dangly mother? Oh, right. This is the different cable that I'm using for the camera. We're trying to troubleshoot the digital SLR, thinking maybe it was the USB cable the other day on the stream. It turned out that it's not, but I am gonna keep this. I am gonna keep using this different USB cable just in the interim while I'm trying to troubleshoot this stuff, because it's definitely not the new camera. And then, I found another one. Spilt Cold Brew. Thank you for joining the Patreon, my friend. Much appreciated. And now I think I'm caught up. I am indeed caught up. Am I? Am I caught up? I'm caught up. Look at me go. Oh, come on, OBS. You can do this. OBS, you've been doing this for 3+ years. Just keep going. Okay. Cjo says the Bentley, that is. What about it? Cjo. It's alive. Oh my god. Nice. Cjo is restoring a Bentley. Of all of the Money Pit restorations, I think he picked the most insane one. And just like that, EOS Webcam Utility shits its pants yet again. Awesome. Boy, is this is just terrific. Usually it only dies twice per live stream, though. So in theory, we've gotten it out of the way, and it'll be all good in a minute. So let's see. Demo FPV said, YouTube just did the thing and scrolled me to the bottom of the chat for no goddamn reason. Scrolling back up. Oh, now YouTube is going to crash. Ready? Here. Nope. I was wrong. Demo FPV says, for Walksnail, what are the whoop options? What do you mean? My Walksnail whoops are all custom built. If you're asking what bind and flies are out there, I know Betaflight makes one. I don't really know the bind and flies all that well. I'm not a bind and fly kind of guy. So yeah, I'm not totally sure what bind and fly Walksnail whoops are out there. But if you're hanging out here, custom build one, yo. Join in on the pain with the rest of us. Tiny Shark says, my Walksnail freezes during hard crashes. Any ideas what could be the problem, or is it normal? rig is a 2S Walksnail 75mm. Usually that means it's about to die. So just keep running it. Eventually it'll completely shit the bed. Make sure though that you're feeding the Walksnail light VBAT. Make sure you're not feeding it 5V. The Walksnail VTX has its own 3.3 or 5V BEC on it. You don't want that connected to a 5V BEC on the flight controller. You want to just send it. Wow, it shit the bed that quick. Jesus, man. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, man. This is insane. Wow. What the hell? Work. Oh, for fuck's sake. We'll go to the bench cam soon. And yeah, we'll go to the bench cam soon, which won't freeze. Frank Nicholas says, replace your Canon camera with your iPhone. The field of view of the iPhone would show like from all the way over here to like all the way over there. It would look ridiculous. So yeah, that won't necessarily work. But Thrash FPV says, if you use your own affiliate link, do you get some money back? You do. You can use your own affiliate links. Frank Nicholas says, why stick to a third-party web browser, Firefox or Chrome versus native Safari? We talked about that yesterday. Safari is, for some reason, very slow. I tried using Safari on 1 or 2 different occasions, and I just didn't like it. It was not... yeah, I didn't like it. I really preferred Chrome. I could certainly try again, but I'm interested by a bunch of you guys saying that Firefox is the jam. So I'm going to try Firefox. The chat just died. Is YouTube about to die? I can't do anything. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Come on. I can't scroll in the oh my god, dude. Oh my fucking god. Why is Chrome taking 550% of the CPU? There goes YouTube. All right, YouTube shit the bed. Perfect. Wow. This is something else. Hold on, I gotta fix one thing at a time. I'm reloading YouTube first. All right, now I can try to fix the. Oh wow, EOS webcam bombed. The software just died. That'll make it quicker to relaunch it, I guess. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Why is this? Why is everything like this? Why do companies take things that function just fine and ruin them? Why is every newer version of software worse than the version prior? All right, there we go. So you buy new ones. Yep, that's pretty much it. Okay. Thrash FPV says, can Wayback Machine be used for older Oh, interesting. Older download software versions. I wouldn't think so because it's just going to drive to the same software download page. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting idea. I used to use Wayback Machine all the time in the year or so that I worked for a search engine optimization company back in my 20s. Random Videos Daily says, "Can you say Landon Mills is a Sigma?" I can. I don't like this. The If you ever wonder if you're like actually getting old or not, here's how you can tell. If you get annoyed by every single stupid new thing that the kids are saying, you're old. So saying Landon Mills is a Sigma, that upsets me. That upsets me. No real reason, but it just annoys me. Frank Douglas says, "I think with camo you can manage the FOV." I mean, yeah, like it'll let you crop in, but by cropping in, you're going to lose a lot of pixels, and the image is going to start to look like ass. The reason that this stream looks so good is it's coming through a DSLR with like a proper big old lens, relatively big sensor. This is an old camera, actually. This is a Canon EOS Rebel T6. This is probably like a 6 or 7 year old camera, but digital SLRs and or just like proper cameras, with proper lenses and like decent sized sensors, they're what give like the look that you get from like when you watch someone on YouTube and like it looks decent, it's coming from a half decent camera. When you go to YouTube and it looks like ass, it's from like a webcam or a phone or something like that. There's just a massive difference in the way like a proper camera and or lens looks. The iPhones are super impressive, but the wide field of view is going to be basically like a GoPro, and it's just, yeah, it's just not going to look great. I would also have to mount the phone like sideways, and that wouldn't like work between the two monitors here, and then like, you know, I use my phone for things, so it would be a bit of a nightmare. Cool idea, but yeah, I have another one of these DSLRs. I completely forgot. I meant to hook up the other DSLR to see if that would improve anything. I'm trying to troubleshoot one thing at a time. And tonight I would have remembered to switch the camera, but the one thing that I remembered tonight was this webcam, which I have not seen flicker yet, so we are fixing things. We're fixing things one at a time. And all of a sudden now, Canon EOS Utility is running completely fine. I have no idea why, but hey, it's the little victories, man. Tiny Shark FPV says, "I think I have the only Walksnail 1S VTX that supposedly only handles 3.1 to 5 volt. Nah, I have 4 of them." Would it be fine connecting that to VBAT 2S? Absolutely not. You got to hook it up to either 1S or 5 volt. If you have a rig that's 2S, just hook it up to the 5 volt back on that rig. Having the whole like BEC on your AIO or your flight controller feeding into another peripheral that also has a BEC, it's not like the end of the world doing that. It's just apparently, if possible, you want to try not to do that. But like, we've been doing that forever. Like, most VTXs have a built-in BEC. How many VTXs have you hooked up to 5 volt BECs on your flight controller, right? Receivers, they have their own probably 3.3 volt BECs in them. Every single receiver you've hooked up to a 5 volt BEC on your flight controller, right? So yeah, you'll be fine. If that's a 2S flight controller, AIO, whatever the hell it is, just hook that up to the old school Walksnail 1S VTX and you should be totally fine. Curtis Hayes says, I told you a few streams ago that I put the older Mac version and how to grab older version stuff off Canon's download site. Yeah, I tried that. You put the link in Discord, right, Curtis? I tried it. It didn't work. It brought me to a page that would only allow me to download the current version, which is what I already have. So yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. Maybe I'm being smooth-brained and I didn't click the link right. But yeah, it didn't work for me. I apologize. Random Videos Daily says, please do it. It's for my dad. I got you. Even though I didn't want to, I did it anyway. Frank Nicholas says, Wayback Machine has mirrors of the downloads, so it would normally offer the older downloads. Ooh, okay. If that's what you want to do. Cool. I will, I'm actually going to open a tab to the Wayback Machine right now to remind myself. There it is. Awesome. Good call, brother. Frank Nicholas says, the iPhone has a bigger sensor than your old Canon camera. There's no way. There's no way in hell the iPhone has a sensor that's bigger than not micro four thirds, crop. There's just no way. How big is the iPhone sensor? Oh wait, which iPhone is this? Which iPhone? Maybe the new ones, but certainly not the old iPhones. And like, who the hell can afford the new iPhones? They're ridiculous. Where's there's General. Oh my God. Where does it tell you what? There it is, about. iPhone SE is the iPhone SE sensor. 1/3 inch. 1/3 of an inch. Yeah, that ain't anywhere near micro four thirds, not micro four thirds, crop sensor. How big is a DSLR crop sensor? APS-C, there we go. 22.5 millimeters by 15 millimeters. Wow, thanks for the impossibly detailed answer. AI overview. Wow, what a 1/3 of an inch. What's a 22.3 of an inch is 6 millimeters, I guess that would be. So 6 millimeters versus 22 by 15. Yeah, massive difference. How big are the new iPhone sensors? 22 by 15. 22 by 15. What the newest, the biggest sensor an iPhone has ever had. Wow, that's almost a 1-inch sensor. Holy shit. 1 over 1.4 inches. Wow, they're getting big. Still not as big as a DSLR sensor, but man, that's super impressive. Jesus. Uriel says it worked okay. It's also WAF is said. I'm not sure what that means. Curtis Hayes says, I just put the file I downloaded with my link in Discord in general nonsense. Thank you, Curtis. Very cool of you. Frank Nicholas says, Apple does not detail sensor size. There are 4 iPhone SE models, generation/modern models. Your old Canon will list specs different. See the rest of my original post. The rest of his original post is cropping in will probably still have more pixels than your old Canon camera. The quality would be the difference in the lens. Yeah, I mean it looks like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to dive into camera stuff. Nobody wants to watch me talk more about camera stuff. All right, I'm caught up on chat. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's dive in to the 2Fiddy. You know what I just realized? This thing has been pulled apart for so long that this is FRSky. this is an RXSR. This is how I used to do the individual antennas on the RXSRs. It's buried down underneath the RunCam hybrid 20x20 here. But yeah, there's a FRSky RXSR in this thing. So I'm very tempted to change this over to ELRS, but this whole build is kind of old school, and like I don't think I have anything else that's on FRSky. I'm probably not gonna fly this an awful lot, so I think I'm gonna leave it. And this is just like an old school build. It's an old school frame. It's got the old analog RunCam hybrid on it. It feels super weird not updating this, not getting this off of FRSky. But one of the cool things about continuing to run QX7s is that they've got FRSky on them. The problem with that, though, is that it's just so bad. FRSky just sucks so bad. But like, I don't want to create that much extra work for myself either. So yeah, I guess I'm leaving it. It feels super strange to do that, but no, I can't leave it on FRSky, right? I have to change it. Let me see if I have any extra ELRS receivers. It's just stupid. And here's the other thing, right? If I leave it on FRSky, I'll really never fly it. Teddy, why do you keep sniffing my face? What is it about my face that you like the smell of? Alright, hold on. So yeah, I have one. I need to order more. Interesting. This would be the last one. How the hell am I gonna mount it? Oh man, I got this thing all. No, I'm not doing it. I'm leaving it on FRSky. I'm leaving it on FRSky, yo. I don't care. It's fine. It's just gonna sit on the wall anyway. This rig is totally fine, but like, no, I'm leaving it. I don't. I only have one extra ELRS receiver, and like the way that I have FRSky buried down in. Look, it'll be cool to have one. I have one FRSky 5-inch rig right here. This is my very first 5-inch rig. And then this is going to be my one FRSky micro. So if I want to go out and compare new school to old school with 5-inch rigs, I can do it. And then now if I want to go out and compare new school to old school with micros, I can do that too. There we go. That's the justification that I needed. Thanks for supporting me. You guys all jumped ship. You guys all said, no, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? We're going to unsubscribe. You bastards. How dare you? I see I see the lack of loyalty. All right. Teddy Spaghetti channel. Should I make a Teddy Spaghetti channel? And just point cameras at him as he does dumb shit. He's under the desk chewing on himself right now. Okay. So, I've got a big ass jumble of wires here. I am removing a... Why am I doing this? I know why I'm doing this. Oh, wait, I've already... Oh. Oh, I have so much more done than I... What am I doing here? Is this the old AIO? And this is the new AIO? I think that's the deal. Did I switch all of these? I did a whole bunch of work already. I'm taking this out and installing this. Right? Yes. That's exactly what's happening. Oh, shit. I didn't realize I did this much work already. All right. So there's a capacitor back here. And of course, I've run black and black wires to it. But all you need is a red metallic Sharpie. And then you can make a little bit of red on the black wire that's positive. And there you go. So we'll see how long it takes me to accidentally rub that red off and not know which wires which. Okay, so... Oh, well, that ain't gonna reach. Oh, farts. That's not gonna reach over there. We're going capacitorless, my friends. Yeah, that's a terrible idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, we're going capacitorless. That's what's happening here. And if it has too much electrical noise for that, I will deal with it at a later date. But for right now, I'm just going to take this capacitor out. I'm not going to desolder it, though. I'm just going to see if I can pop it out the top here with the old AIO. The reason that I am removing... So this is an Acon AIO. This is like the $120 Acon AIO. This one's actually a prototype that Ryan Harrell sent to me to help them and him test it. This Acon AIO is like the only one that I trust, and it was weird it being tied up in an FRSky 4-inch rig. So I swapped it out for an iFlight Beast I had laying around. And yeah, that's the end of that story. That's all I have to say about that. Here's the capacitor. I need to get this out of here. Oh boy. This is a mess. Alright, well, I didn't want to cut this zip tie, but I did it. And so, alright, I need to lift this up, and then I should be able to sneak that out underneath. And then we'll be good to go. So let's get that rolling here. Curtis Hayes says, we don't need to see Teddy do dumb shit when you're doing dumb shit. Agreed. That's the secret sauce of YouTube. Just do dumb things. What, buddy? What? What do you want? What you need? What are you looking to accomplish here? You want to come help? Yes. Oh. 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 What are you eating my chair? Try to make these eyebrows a little less angry sometimes, you know? Good dog. Good dog. I don't know about dogs, man. I really don't. Cats are so much better. He does want me to fly. Good call. He wants to chase a tiny whoop around the room. Oh, he's back. Hello, buddy. You can jump up on my lap if you want, doggo. That's okay. It's fine. Look at that. I've got an Acon AIO that I can use on something that, like, I'm probably going to use that on a working rig because, yeah, it's the best of the AIOs. Okay. At least it's the most trustworthy, as far as I'm concerned. None of the AIOs are really trustworthy. I mean, the FRSky module is right here. Nah, man, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. It's happening. It's happening. The world needs more FRSky rigs. That's not true. That's patently untrue. But the world needs just this one. The world needs just this one single FRSky rig. That is the truth. That is a truthful statement. If I ever heard one. No, it's not. No, it's not. Boy, there's a lot of stuff in here. Get down there. Get down there. Okay, there we go. Anybody else play DayZ? If you've ever played DayZ and you enjoyed it, now is a good time to dive back into it. There's a new map called Sakal, and it's great. It is great fun. I've been enjoying the new map quite a bit this week. If you have PS5 and you're into DayZ, you let me know and we'll hang out. We'll go shoot some goddamn zombies and wolves and bears together. And reindeer. There's reindeer on the new map. Isn't that exciting? You can shoot a reindeer right in its joyous face. Although it's kind of unnecessary. The fishing is the way to stay alive. Unless you go inland, I guess. If you go inland, I guess the reindeers become a good source of meat. DayZ is a survival game. It's considered like a hardcore survival game. You got to manage like your thirst, your hunger. It's very fun, and it's a game that you can like play cooperatively, which is one of the main things that I really like about it. I'm not a huge fan of games where it's like PvP, basically player versus player. I'm getting old, and so I just get my ass kicked all the time. Plus, like, I just can't aim worth a good goddamn with a controller. And so, yeah, PvP games just... Like, the long and short of it is that PvP games are not fun, and they're just frustration. The entire experience is just based around frustration. Whereas, like, cooperative games... Even if it's frustration, it's like shared frustration, which is way better, obviously. Okay, so I need to solder the motors up, and so that's what we're gonna do. Let me move this out of the way as much as I possibly can. This is gonna be a little bit challenging, but we're gonna do it. So let me pull this AIO up a little bit here, and that'll give me the room to hook these motor wires up in a way that makes sense. Okay, soldering 101. Hold on. Curtis Hayes says the world needs leeches for medicine. That's disgusting. 6x1 says put a poll for what receiver to use. All right, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We'll use that. We'll do that. All right, you guys decide. You guys decide. Ask a question. What receiver should I use on this? On the 2Fiddy. All right. Okay. All right. There you guys go. There's a poll. The you guys decide. You guys decide. trying to fuck with me. See how far it gets. See how far it gets. See if you can. See. Oh yeah, Brandon. Oh man, I must have typed it in there wrong. Damn this thing. Well, I mean the poll's up. The poll's up there. So, poll reported for terrorism. Fuck with me. See how far you get. I got all night. Oh shit. Yeah, no, I'm actually really excited to fly FRSky again. I can't say that with a straight face. I flew FRSky not too long ago on the 5-inch rig, and leeches equal FRSky and RXSR. And it was what it really was a nice moment of like reminding us me how good we have it. There's a better word that I'm just spacing on, but it begins with recalibrating. That's it. It was a really nice recalibration, and yeah, we should be thrilled with what we've got. Man, these the exposed bits of wire here are very long. I'm gonna have to cut a bunch of these down. This is gonna suck. But whatever. Soldering 101, my friends. Always move the work to you. Don't move the soldering iron and or your hands to the work. Make sure that by the time you bring the tip of the soldering iron in, you are certain of where everything is going to go. Also, in this case, I'm going to go right to left, not left to right. Make sure that you're not crossing over yourself, making your job a lot harder. I was about to solder the left wire up first. It makes a lot more sense to solder in this scenario. Sometimes it kind of depends on the angle of your dangle, but it also depends on where you're. You could argue that it's almost personal preference, to be honest. But yeah, think about that. Like, think about, if I do this one wire, then what's going to happen? Am I going to have to cross over myself, and I'm going to be accidentally touching the previous wire? And try it different ways. You might like it one way versus the other. That's okay. All right, here we go. So, I've got flux on the solder joint itself. Oh, these are not... These looked like... Oh, these are flat pads. I'm dumb. I thought these were little pocketed pads that I could solder the wires straight down to. Okay, hold on. That's hysterical. Okay. I am actually going to go, in that case, right to left. If I'm soldering these on flat pads, yeah, I'm going to go right to left here. So I'm going to move these other two wires out of the way, and then I'm going to get this wire into actual position this time, into the right position. I've, of course, got my nerd goggles on because I want to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. All right, so we've got the wire exactly where it needs to be. Now, and only now, is when we want to come in with the soldering iron. Don't use the tip of the soldering iron to try to hold the wire to the pad, because you're going to have to remove the tip of the soldering iron at some point. So you got to have the wire perfectly in position, and you got to be able to hold the wire in that perfect position as the solder cools. These are very fundamental things, but they are like the first things that you ignore when you're in a hurry, or once you've done a bunch of soldering and you think like, oh, I'm good to go now. I can kind of half-ass this and I'll be fine. Don't. Follow the basics forever. They are the basics for a reason, and they will always make your soldering better quality in the end. And it does matter. These things do fly. If they fall out of the air and hit somebody in the face, it's going to be a problem. So don't be that guy. Do it right. Get it good. And have confidence in your builds. You will fly better if you have confidence in your builds. When you go to the lake, you'll put it out over the lake without even thinking about it. You won't be like super nervous the whole time, like jittering on the sticks because the damn thing fell out of the air a week ago and you're wondering if it's going to happen again and you're going to lose the whole goddamn build. Take pride in your builds. Do this shit properly and you will fly better and you will be safer at the same time. It's all good things. See, I'm kind of fighting with this wire a little bit. It's because I want it to be sitting perfectly by the time I come in with the tip of the soldering iron. You want to be doing this now, not when the soldering iron is on the job. Is on the work, rather. And there we go. That is a very decent set of solder joints. Not the best ever, but they don't have to be the best ever. They just have to be decent. And more often than not, but a lot of times with like, think about how often you've seen soldering jobs on Facebook and think about how horrendously awful that they've been. Man, that looks like shit. There could be a little bit more solder on these joints, but we're actually fine. There aren't big, beautiful, shiny balls on there. Hold on. Let me try something here in Camo Studio. Yeah, come to think of it, I've fixed two things. Kevin J, just another Kevin FPV, with a $10 super chat. Thank you, dude. He says, I appreciate your soldering lessons. You've helped me tremendously with soldering. Very cool, man. I fucking love that. I absolutely love that. All right, hold on. Focus is... There we go. All right. Man, this focal distance ain't shit. Hold on, let's put the 5x loop in front of the camera. See what we can do here. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I don't know. They don't look that bad in person. They don't look great on camera. Just trust me. Why is it still... Oh, because I threw the wrong camera out of focus. I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. There we go. Ooh, there's my armpit. There's my armpit. Ah, yeah, there we go. The right joint is like the stereotypical, like, big shiny ball. And that's actually not the best way of doing it. Believe it or not, the two left joints are, technically speaking, a little bit better because the wires are fully coated in solder, but there's not too much solder. More often than not, we use too much solder on here. Yeah, I can see it with the 5x loop. Man, in that webcam, it looks like shit. But through the 5x loop with my actual eye, these look totally fine. Oh my god, it died again, you fucking whore! This will be interesting. I'm quitting and relaunching this software. If this pops back up, then I'm pretty sure that means that the camera is fine, and it really is the webcam utility software. It should be the software because the camera was completely fine. I updated the software, all hell broke loose. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the camera's okay. Oh my god. You dirty rat bastard, you. Metal Dirt Skin knows what's up. If it lasts until the flux corrodes it, you weren't flying it hard enough. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Please. Please work. I just want to show you this one thing. There. Normally what we do is we build a big shiny ball where the solder goes up, the wire is in here, and then the solder goes up over it, and it's convex, I believe that is the right word. That is technically not what we want. What we actually want is for it to be concave. So it's like this, and then it goes up and over the wire. That's what those two left solder joints are, and that's why when I show it with the camera and like this round light, it looks so weird. When it's a big ball, it looks much more uniform through the camera, and that's what looks like good. But yeah, these two left joints are actually a little bit stronger because they don't have too much solder on them. Why too much solder makes joints slightly weaker, I will never know. But it does. Kevin J, thank you again for the super chat. All right. One motor down, 3 to go. What's next? Over here. Again, moving the work to me, not fucking moving my hands around to the work. Get the work into a position where it's comfortable and it's not a giant pain in the ass. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go left to right. So let's grab the leftmost wire here. And flux first. 1, 2, and 3. This is a syringe of flux paste. I find that this works a lot better than the flux pen because this is like kind of goopy. It's like a paste. And so when I put it, I can put more of it on the joint. The flux pen is liquid. So you hit these 3 joints with the flux pen and that liquid flux moves all around and you can't get as much of the flux to stay in one place in that scenario. And like, because of the fact that we're crashing the shit out of these things and they don't last all that long anyway, it doesn't really help much to use less flux. If you were building something to go into orbit and it needed to go up there for 20 years, then yes, absolutely, you would not want to use too much flux because it would make a difference. But we are not, and so we shall not. These wires are a little short for this AIO to be sitting up on the standoffs, so I'm actually going to pause. This one is also, it's not too short, it's like just kind of the right length. I'm going to go back and do this rear set of pads because these rear wires are significantly longer. And then I will push the AIO down and that'll make it just right for those front wires. These wire lengths were cut for the Acon AIO, which has the pads in slightly different positions. And so, yeah, we're just going to adapt a little bit for this in the easy way. And we're going to do this intelligently. All right, so this is going to be a little bit harder. This is, there's just mad shit in the way, but we'll be totally fine. So again, we're going to flux first. 1, 2, 3. And the challenge here is going to be getting the tweezers in there to hold the wires and still have space, because I can't kind of come in from an angle because there's all this junk in the way. So I'm going to sort of come down from the top, sort of, and then the soldering iron is going to come in from the side. So get this here, grab this wire with the tip of the tweezers, get it properly into position. I'm hanging the silicone off the side of the board, but I'm also butting the silicone up against the side of the board. And now the same thing is going to happen here. I don't have a ton of solder on these 3 joints, so we're going to end up with solder joints that don't look as fancy. We're not going to have those big balls. That actually doesn't have enough solder on it. There is a fine line between not enough solder and the exact right amount. Because of that, it's actually usually a better idea to have a big shiny ball, in my opinion, because it's better to have too much solder than not enough. A big shiny ball is better than a joint with not enough solder, where you've got like voids in the solder itself. So in this scenario, I'm actually going to add a little bit to each one of these pads, because right now there's just not quite enough. So adding to that first pad, adding to that second pad, adding to the third pad. By bringing the heat in, I've burned off a bunch of that flux. That's what the smoke is. The smoke is the flux evaporating. But it's okay, because like with the flux paste, basically when you hit the flux paste with heat, it becomes a liquid and it flows around a little bit. And so you're good at that point. There is a little bit of extra flux here that didn't burn off. And so, yeah, that's another reason I like the flux paste. You put it on once, and then you can solder onto that joint a couple times after that without having to put it back on there. And so we're going to get a really nice solder joint here, even though I'm not reapplying flux. So check that out. Look how good that joint looks. Even though it's the second time I've hit it. There was enough flux left. You can actually see the flux on that fet right above the joint. See that? That's the liquid flux. It flows outwards a little bit. And so then you've got like that little bit of extra there. And it's great. And it's just so nice. The flux paste is the jam, man. Get you some flux paste if you don't have it. It's really nice. It has noticeably improved the quality of my soldering over the last, like, probably about 1.5 years since I started using it. There is flux in the core of the solder. So every time that you add solder, you are adding a little bit of flux, but it's not that much, and it evaporates pretty quick. And yeah, flux is just so helpful that I find, again, you'll get much better quality work by adding a little bit of extra as the very first thing that you do every single time. Okay. Actual electrical engineers will be quick to, talk about the correct way and the proper way and all this shit. Look, we are building things that are different. And so we are allowed to do things in a different way that's not like the absolute perfect way for sending something into space. That is okay. Like when I used to see my dad, like early days of FPV, when I used to see my dad, I would like hammer him on like, hey, look at my solder joints. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? At one point, he was like, look, you've been doing this long enough and you're building something that's so specific that you've sort of become the expert. You're the one that's crashing these. You're the one that's getting to see when these joints fail, how they fail. And so to some extent, like, even though I've been to NASA soldering school, like, you're the pro with this specific, oh, for fuck's sake. You're the pro with this specific work. It's been on the wrong camera for a while. No, I guess not. Just since I did that first joint. So it's fine. And yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Because my dad is a goddamn ninja. He was an electrical technician for many, 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 many years. He worked in Princeton on the plasma fusion reactor called the tokamak. They sent him at one point, they literally sent him, as opposed to them figuratively sending him, I guess. They sent him to NASA soldering school, week-long NASA soldering school. How to solder things that are going to go up into orbit. And so, yeah, he knows what's what, and it is awesome. I wish I'd taken more advantage of it, like back when I was in college, and maybe pursued something there. But at the same time, like, if I had done that, I would probably be completely burned down on it and never want to do it again. So maybe it's a good thing that it went down this way. But what's super cool is that for many of my formative years, there was this noise. There was a soundtrack in my life with this noise in it. Son of a bitch, cannon. That is the noise that the Weller soldering iron holder makes when you put this. The Hacko probably makes a similar noise, but my dad had a Weller soldering iron, and so they use the same coil style solder holder, and so there's this like incredible nostalgia for me. With the Weller iron. Okay, now that the AIO has been pushed down, I can. These wires will easily reach. So let's move the work around and get the wire perfectly into position here. I'm actually going to move this out of the way. All right. Cool. All right, so that's going to hang out there. I actually want to twist these. I want to twist my hand around a little bit. Make sure you're grabbing these wires with just the tip of the tweezers. That actually does make a difference. All right. Here we go. Hey, there's a good one. Second one coming up. Okay. These wires are doing this weird thing where there's a super sharp angle in the exposed bit. So let's just flatten that out a little there. All right, good to go. The first one you can usually do by hand, but man, the second and the third ones, because of how close the wires tend to be to each other, it really helps to get in there with tweezers. You really want to make sure that you have total control over that wire. And something you'll see me do that I just did is sometimes it helps to get the wire into position with the tweezers and then hit it and hold the wire with the tip of the soldering iron, let go very gently with the tweezers, and then kind of rotate so that it's absolutely in the perfect position and re-grab it with the tweezers. Admittedly, that's kind of hard to do because, like, if you're not holding the wire perfectly with the tip of the soldering iron, it'll slip and move and it can throw solder balls around. So that's, I don't know, more like advanced, I guess, soldering. But that is a thing that I've been doing more and more over the years that, yeah, I don't know. I don't like to have to do that. I don't like to have to let go of the wire in the middle of doing the work, but sometimes I can just tell that I'll be able to get the wire into a better position. Because what I really want is if this is the pads are all square, right? If this is the pad, I want that wire coming perfectly off the end of that pad, and I want the silicone butted up against the PCB. And so I want that wire like perfectly centered, and then, yeah, just kind of coming off the bottom. And sometimes the positioning that you have it in initially is not quite perfect. And so, yeah, you can just hold it. This is the only scenario where holding the wire down with the tip of the soldering iron is like acceptable. So yeah, but again, that's sort of more advanced stuff. If you're ready for that, you'll know it. This wire is not quite long enough, or is it? I think it actually is. Let's see. Yeah, it'll get there. It's just barely. That'll be fine. Okay. There's also sort of a pacing to soldering. You don't want to rush it. You also don't want to sit on the pad too long. The solder will sort of tell you when it's ready. You'll see it go molten. You'll see it start to flow a little bit. That's one of the reasons that the nerd goggles are so nice, is that it really allows you to see what the solder is doing. It'll allow you to see when it liquefies. It'll allow you to see when it's flowing. So yeah, make sure you got nerd goggles. I'm telling you guys, if you're doing soldering, even on like 5-inch rigs, I don't even care. If you're doing soldering on FPV stuff without the nerd goggles, you're just making your life so much more difficult than it needs to be. They are so good, and nobody is watching you solder, yo. The embarrassment of wearing these pales in comparison to the embarrassment of showing up with janky ass soldered gear. So suck it up, Buttercup, and I'm telling you, get you some nerd goggles. Or losing your gear. Like, how it's like the worst thing ever to be the guy that loses a rig at the field. And if you lose a rig because your soldering sucks, everybody's going to be like, wow, you're that guy. Thank God you didn't kill anyone this time. Please don't kill anyone next time. It's like, it's our responsibility to not kill people. You know what I mean? So do a good job. Take pride in your work. Do a good job. You got this. You can do it. It's not easy, but it's also not that difficult. You got this. All right, this wire is, again, almost too short, but it's going to be all right. Yeah. All right, there's one. What other tips can I give you? You don't have to clean the tip of your iron. It's a little bit stressful on the tip of your iron when you clean it, so don't clean it constantly. Clean it when it needs to be cleaned. Like, you'll hear me when I clean this. Like right now, I don't necessarily need to clean it. There's a little bit of... After you hit a joint, the tip of the soldering iron picks up a little bit of solder. And that solder that it picks up is really good for transferring heat. The liquid solder will serve as a big old contact patch, which will transfer the heat quickly and make your life a lot easier. So yeah, don't obsessively clean the tip of your soldering iron. If you put it down onto some work and it's not transferring heat, possibly you need to clean it. But don't go completely crazy cleaning it. I'm going to move this work a little bit because it's hard for me to get the tweezers in here to hold this wire properly. So there we go. And now the soldering iron is going to come in from a different angle, but that's okay. You got to kind of balance sometimes, especially when the shit is like half built, right? You got to balance being able to get in there with the tweezers versus being able to get in there with the tip of the soldering iron. And now I need to clip this one a little bit shorter. There we go. When you clip these wires, always look for the little bit that you clipped off. If it disappears, there's a chance that it's on the board, and that can get bad and expensive and fiery. So always pay attention when you're clipping wires as to where the shit that you clipped just went. It absolutely matters. Last one. Hopefully this thing will run without a capacitor. It's only on 4S, so in theory it should be okay. All right, I got a little bit lucky on that one. The wire actually slipped out of the jaws of the tweezer, but it stayed in place. And so, yeah, sort of got away with it. ThrashFPV says, can you surface mount solder? No. I mean, I've never done it, but like surface mounting stuff is more about having the right gear. It's about having a hot air station and or one of the little oven things. And a lot of times to do surface mount, you have to have those fancy little stencil things that you wipe the solder paste into. So yeah, surface mount, which is also, you may have heard of it referred to as SMD. Surface mount, well, what's the D stand for? SM, surface mount. I don't know what the D stands for, but yeah, surface mount is fancy stuff that really typically like manufacturers only do. I'm sure that individual people do it here and there, but that's more manufacturing line kind of Johns. All right, so everything is soldered back on. Hopefully it's soldered onto the right pads. Also, hopefully this thing will run without a capacitor. I mean, I technically have a little bit of space behind the camera where I could maybe sneak a capacitor, but I don't know. Let's try it without it. If I'm unable to get a half decent tune on it, it won't be that much of a nightmare to pull the top plate back off. Pull the camera cage comes off when you pull the top plate off, and then I can just figure out a little setup there to get a capacitor in. But we'll give the iFlight Beast a real test here, and we'll run it without a capacitor. So I need camera plates. This is to my left is the bag. Look at this fancy case that the 2Fiddy comes in. Look, it even says prototype on it because I'm special. There's an extra stator, a motor shaft slip. There's the OG camera cage for the Vista. Yeah, this thing is RunCam hybrid, yo. So it gets 4K, but it gets it in a weird way, which is interesting. Here's the box for the iFlight Beast. It looks like I've got the version 1.2. Just want to make sure it's for 4 to 6S. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for 4 to 6S. I'm really relying on the fact that I'm only running 4. Like, if I was going to run this on 6S, I would not be able to skip the capacitor. I'm relying on the fact that it's a 4 to 6S AIO. I'm going to run it on 4S, and that's going to be less sort of stressful, basically, and hopefully it will not explode. But it might. It might need the capacitor. We'll see. We'll see. What was I going? Oh yeah, the nuts for the to hold the AIO down are what I need. But I don't think they're in this bag. I think I just need to grab some random nuts. Don't we all, man? Don't we all, every once in a while, just need... No, we don't. We don't. I mean, if you'd like to, it's cool. But the word need is not the right word. They are Ummagawd motors, BMF Spade. Yes, the Ummagawd motors have issues with the motor shafts parting ways with the bell. This is a rig that doesn't really get flown much, though, so it'll be fine. This is probably going to just like hang out on the wall for most of the rest of its life. And so, perfect rig for the Ummagawd motors. It'll get flown here and there. I need nuts. Nuts. Okay, it looks like I have enough shank for proper nuts. Okay, so we've got 1, a 2. Nope, that one's different. Yeah, that one's different. Come on, get 3. I try to be just the most insane person ever. And the nylock on the inside of these nuts, there's like white nylock, there's like very clear nylock, and then there's like somewhere in between. I always try to get 4 nuts that are the same color nylock. Because, you know, if you're going to be crazy, you might as well be crazy all the way. This looks like a job for the nut grabber. Every single time you click my Amazon affiliate link, it brings you to the nut grabber. Buy one of these days, you filthy animals. The nut grabber is the best way to grab a nut and then get it started. Oh my God, is this one of my favorite tools? Grabs the nut, gets it started. Shoots it across the room. As an added benefit, if you sloppily grab the nut with the nut grabber, it will shoot the nut across the room to remind you to stop being such a half-ass bitch and to do things right. Oh, the nut grabber is a fantastic part of your FPV tool arsenal. What is happening? Are you cross-threading or are you just being a jackass? I think it's just being a jackass. All right. There we go. Do any of you guys have a PS5? Am I the only one on Earth that has a PlayStation 5? Is it just me? It's just me and a bunch of Brits, I think. There you go, the nut grabber. Great for grabbing nuts. And then one of the other super handy tools is a proper WEHA driver. This is the 265, 265 4.0 by 60. This just makes driving these guys down so much easier. And it's a skinny driver, so it doesn't. You can't put tons of torque on these to over tighten them. It's just nice. It's just a nice thing to have. The WEHA stuff is awesome. Who's on Team WEHA with me? For the record, that's how it's pronounced. It's not WEHA. It's WEHA. I looked it up on their website. I didn't look it up on their website, but I was on their website and they talked about it. Thrash says, "Don't be a sloppy nut grabber." I know I said that. And CiottiFPV says, "I clipped that and sent it to Heads for a new slap." LOL. What did you clip? Don't send things to him. He'll just make fun of me more, and I don't like that. It's more his community than him. But yeah, those guys don't like me. It's I don't know, whatever. It's fine. As they say, you haven't actually made it until you have a bunch of haters, so I guess it's a good thing, but I don't know. I don't like it. It's just like, you know, nobody likes people trashing on them, especially when there's no real reason for it. I'm just trying to, you know, spread positivity and help people out. And in the process, I'm honest about products, and some manufacturers can't handle that. And instead of taking constructive criticism for what it is, they lash out like little babies against the people that are leveling that criticism at them. When it's not actually criticism, it's just product reviews, right? It's just real world experiences. So yeah, there's that. But that is ancient history. Okay, getting these tightened down. One of the things that that is a little bit annoying about the nylock nuts is that, especially when they're fresh, it's like, it's the most annoying, like, double-edged sword. When the nylock is fresh, it makes the nut very difficult to turn, and then you can't tell when it's starting to engage these rubber grommets, and it makes it a lot harder to tell if you're over-tightening it. The easy way to kind of figure that out, and kind of the only way that I've found, is to tighten it down to where you think it needs to be, and then just push down, and you'll see the rubber compress. What you don't want is for there to be a gap between the rubber and the nut when you push down. Don't push down too hard, but like, this is about right. This, I kind of think that I want to make this a little bit tighter here, but like, at its resting state, you want it to compress the rubber just a little bit. And then when you push it down, you want it to be able to move. You don't want it so tight that you can't see it move when you do this. But and then you don't want it so loose that when you do this, there's a gap in between the nut and the rubber. That's sort of the best way to get these just right. And it does matter. It absolutely matters whether or not you get these nuts tightened down the right amount. And so that is not what you want. You see that? That is no good. This one is a little bit too loose. So let's crank it a little bit tighter. And it's going to vary. It depends on the thickness of the grommet that you run. But yeah, see how that's still making that gap there? Still not quite there. All right. And Yoki says we all love you over there. I've never gotten that feeling. I've always felt like I'm super unwelcome over there, and I've had quite a few people from that community come and leave shitty comments and act like assholes in the chat. And so yeah, I stopped watching those streams a long time ago, when all that hostility kicked off. And I to be honest, I don't know if I'll ever go back. It was really obnoxious, and like, I don't know. Heads never really stood up for me. You know, like I don't necessarily expect him to, but like as the host, sometimes you kind of like have to. Like you have to sort of jump in. I know it kind of sucks, but like if people are acting like assholes in your community, it's kind of your responsibility to jump in. As far as I'm concerned, but not everybody thinks that way, and that's okay. You know, people are allowed to have sort of their own opinions about how a community is supposed to function, and that's okay. But no, in my opinion, it's kind of your responsibility to make sure that your community is not acting like assholes when it's unwarranted. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, though. Everybody's entitled to run their own thing how they see fit. So on that previous one, I had to back it off a little bit. It was getting to the point where that top... So these grommets that I'm running are a lot taller on the bottom than they are on the top. So if you keep cranking this tighter and tighter and tighter, you can really start to squish the top of the rubber grommet. And then the nylock gets like close to the components on the board, and it just looks weird and scary. And so yeah, I backed that one off a little bit so that it wasn't doing that. This last one is kind of buried, and it's pretty hard to see, but I think I have it just about right. Let's move these down a little bit. Yeah, we're good. See how when I push it down, there's not a gap opening up there, so that's totally fine. So yeah. Didn't think I'd be showing you guys that, but that's look, what I just showed you guys is one of the things that's the difference between... Oh, you fucking bastard. That's one of the things that's that can be the difference between like good and great, basically. Getting that super obnoxious little detail perfect potentially will take this from a rig that as soon as the propellers get beat up, it is unflyable, to something where you can batter the shit out of it and it'll just keep flying and flying and flying and flying and flying. So, like, this is not a requirement to have something that flies, but it can potentially be a requirement to have something that flies really great. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but yeah. LOL the Kiddison says, how would you go about fully discharging a bad battery? Get one of the little Vi-Fly dischargers. There's a million different ways. YouTube search that. There's a ton of different methods of doing it. I mean, if it's a fully bad battery, one of the fun ways is to take it out in the street with a shovel or like something where you can puncture the damn thing, and just annihilate it out in the street, and then you'll get to see fire and smoke and brimstone. It's you know, one of the simple pleasures of being into FPV. Getting to watch batteries that you spent $15, $20 on catch on fire and melt into the dirt. So yeah, there's that. Okay. Runcam hybrid going back on. We did something. I maybe it's good that the webcam utility software is shitting the bed, because it got me over here to the workbench earlier than I normally would, and I actually got this finished up, which is awesome. There used to be a running joke when I would do a lot of these like bigger builds on the channel. It's been one of the nice things about focusing more on tiny whoops, is that the builds are so quick. I can almost always get it done during the same live stream. Not always, but much more often than not. But yeah, there was a running joke way back in the day that I would do like a lot of 5-inch builds and 3-inch builds and Cinewhoops and whatnot. And like I'll still do them, but where like it would take like a month to get a build done, because half the stream is answering questions and then the other half is screaming at the build as it screws with me. And so yeah. And Yogi says, I wasn't aware there was any hate. I've always heard nothing but good things over there in regards. That's nice to hear. I solidly agree. I think as any sort of influence, you have a responsibility to do some amount of damage control within your community. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. The bullshit over there was basically surrounding the shirt design that that Eves from Fractal did, ripping off my logo and putting words into my mouth that I never said, which was that Fractal sucks. And the really, like, the fact that they did it is one thing, and like, and I called them out on it, and I said, you know, that's not cool. I don't think that's fucking funny. It makes me look like an asshole, and I don't appreciate that. What really pissed me off is that I approached Heads about it, and he kind of played dumb, and maybe he wasn't playing dumb. Maybe he really didn't see the similarities. But I mean, come on. Like, when I was talking about it on these live streams, everybody was like, what? No, that makes no sense. Like, it's so obvious that it's a ripoff. And so I was pretty offended by that, if I'm honest. Maybe that's just me being too sensitive, but I don't know. It felt super patronizing, and it just, yeah, I don't know. It just felt like that, like ultra gaslighting of like, I don't know. I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know. It is what it is, though. That happened a long time ago. And I just, ever since then, I assumed that whole group of people don't like me for whatever reason. And that's fine. I don't need everybody to like me. But it's interesting to know that yeah. And plus, again, you know, having so many of those people come over and talk shit, it's like, oh, okay, well, obviously that whole community hates me, and so I won't go back. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe I'm not. What I'm missing is plugging it in and making sure that things work before I spend another 15 minutes bolting everything together, and then I need to tear it back apart. So that's pretty cool that for a change, I remembered to plug the damn thing in, spin the motors up, and make sure it binds and make sure there's video before putting the top plate on. You dirty bastard here. Oh, 661. Don't do this again, man. Come on. It's the exact same font. It's the exact same shape. It did not exist before. It was 100% a dig at me. Look at the product description. It is top to bottom 100% a dig with me. A dig at me, unquestionably. If you don't agree, like, sorry, brother, but you're wrong. Your head is in the sand if you don't agree. It is absolutely 1000% a dig at me. unquestionably. I need a XT30 battery. Doesn't really need to be 4S, but I wonder if it'll even fire up on 2S. Ugh. All right. Showstopper. Wow. I have not. I've only done Cinewhoop builds where we don't have Showstoppers. I almost just raw dogged this and just plugged it directly in to full voltage. Let's see. Even with the Showstopper, it can technically blow up, but typically it won't. Typically the Showstopper will trip first. Let's see what happens. Ah! Look at that. Booted all the way up. All right, so I've got it on 2 amp mode. Maybe that'll let the motor spin. Probably not. Come on. Come on, Betaflight. Come on, Betaflight. Come on, Betaflight. 661 says, the saying Fractal Sucks was on his OSD before he started reviewing the frames. For sure, CiottiFPV, but then later they made the logo after you started reviewing them. Yeah, I mean, that might be true that it was on his OSD, but the choice to rip my logo off is just so uncool. It's just so uncool. And there's just no way that he chose the exact logo shape and the exact font. It is not the Nintendo font that I use or that he used. It is a specific font. There are hundreds of thousands of fonts that could have been used. It is completely unreasonable and total bullshit to think that he just happened to pick the exact same one that CMYK then happened to pick before that t-shirt was made. That is completely insane. That is a completely insane thing to think. So the saying is not the issue here. Ripping off my logo, putting words into my mouth, the description of the item, and the fact that he continues to sell that t-shirt, those are all of the things that are the digs on me, and those are all the things that, quite frankly, you know, never mind. I'm not going to say that. That's a mean thing to say. It's not cool. It's just not cool to do that to somebody else in such a small niche community. That's completely uncalled for. And especially it's not cool to do that to someone that was so incredibly fair about the negative things that they were saying about your product, and like making suggestions rather than just saying, nah, they suck. Don't, like, I was way more respectful than I needed to be about their products, and then for that to be the thanks I get is yeah, that's the issue here. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Canon. And while we were waiting, Betaflight popped up. All right, connecting, and I'm gonna feed it voltage again through the Showstopper, and we're gonna go to the motors tab, and let's see if it trips. Wow, this has Betaflight 4.2 on it. It still has the It doesn't work though. It needs Betaflight 4.3 to use the motor thing. Oh shit! This is a Bheli 32 AIO, isn't it? Oh, son of a bitch! This better not be on so old of a version that I can't get. Oh fuck! Motor 2. I'm sorry, won't spin. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, that sounds awful. Why does that sound so bad? What the hell? Oh, it's props in. No, it's not. Oh, they're all over the place. So this is motor. Well, let's see. I can't believe the Showstopper hasn't tripped. Motor 1. Oh, the motors are all in the wrong spots. Oh god, I would have to. Oh man, I would have to reassign resources. Oh, that's super funny. if I wanted to get this thing going without updating, I would have to reassign resources. I don't necessarily know if I remember how to do that. Let's see if I remember. Get resource? No. Get motor? No. Oh my god, how would I even... Shit, we used to have to do this every time. Is it in the diff? Whoa, look how little is in the diff. There's like nothing in the diff. Yo, 4.2 is way different. That's hysterical. I don't... Who remembers? Does anybody remember how to do it? The resource remapping? The motor remapping? Get motor, output limit, PW inversion motor. I thought it was resource. Let's try dump. Dump will give me everything. It is resource. Why when I type get resource does it not pop all that stuff up? Hold on, let me go back up to the top. Oh boy, dump has a lot. No, you're good, Anyoki. It's all good. We haven't talked about it in a while. Oh my god, the fucking webcam shit the bed again. You dirty bastard. Not webcam, the Canon rather. All right, dump is done. If I scroll all the way up to the top, so it's in here. It's in these resources. Resource motor. Yeah, so I could figure this out. So I would just need to take these 4 motor resources, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and figure them out. So I would type set resource space motor space 1 space BO1 instead of BOO. But instead, we are just going to start fresh and update the firmware. You did have to map resources on every build. It didn't take that long, but it certainly took a hell of a lot longer than our current setup. Full chip arrays, great. Is there anything on here that I care about? Yes. So let's come in here to the ports tab, and we're gonna... Oh, none of this... Fuck. None of this shit is set right, and I didn't pay attention to where I soldered this stuff to on the goddamn board. Oh, you fart bag bastard! Thank God I didn't put the top plate on. Okay, yeah, this AIO is not set up properly for this. So there's nothing in there that really matters. Yeah, no, since this is a fresh build, none of this stuff matters. So I can just blindly reflash the thing. It is 12:10, my friends. Why is this acting all weird? I don't know if I have it in me to dive into figuring out what UARTs everything is on, but I'm going to click Flash Firmware. I'm going to ignore the risk because it's all trash. And, yeah, away we go. Moss1 says, also the Simpson Racing font. Again, similar, but not the same. The Simpson font is like, sure, it's a red border and then letters, but it's completely different. It's a completely different font. Look. That is the same font. See the C? See what the C looks like? Right? That's a very specific C. That is the same font that CMYK used on my logo. right? That's called ripping someone off. That's not a coincidence. There are too many fonts for that to be a coincidence. There are too many. Oh, you bastard! There are too many fonts that exist for that to be a coincidence. And the description, the description it's just so obviously a dig at me. But you know, whatever. Some people are like that. Some people they live in pain. They live in sorrow, and to attempt to make themselves feel better, they take digs at other people. And, you know, those are people that I have no interest in interacting with in any way, shape, or form, ever. Those are, you know, folks that can stay away from me. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. 6S1 says, should get resource, but just flash the damn thing. Yeah, I have to. 6S1 says, I'm sure you know diff only shows what's different from the defaults. Yep. So if you're on 100% defaults, diff won't really have anything. Yeah, usually there's more than that, though. Usually there's at least a couple of extra things. I'm super shocked that there's not more that is changed. Although, you know what? You know what it is? Oh! You know what it is? This AIO came from someone else. This is not an AIO that I've set up. I change a good amount of stuff in Betaflight, and that's why I'm used to seeing more in the diff. This AIO came from someone, and they're not as insane as I am, changing every single thing on planet goddamn Earth. Why is it not... I unplugged and I replugged. Why is it not coming back? Come on back, you dirty fuck. Something ain't right here. Let's power cycle the AIO. It's not wanting to reconnect to Betaflight here. Let's see if that fixes it. Hey, there we go. Cool. All right, I think that's going to be about it. And we're back. There it is. Okay. Oh, the board is that's why the motors are in the wrong spots, because the board is rotated. Yeah, I don't have the board in here in the orientation that it wants. Let's try changing yaw by 90. Let's see what happens there. And nose down. Nope. I gotta go 270. That'll fix it. All right, that won't fix the motor mapping though. That still needs to get sorted. So this is BL-Heli 32, I believe. Let's see what happens. Let's see what version of BL-Heli 32 this is on, to see if I'll even be able to get... I might not be able to get RPM filters on this. If this is on too old of a version of BL-Heli 32, I won't be able to use RPM filtering, and I will light the entire planet on fire if that's the case. Because RPM filtering is the shit. All right, let's see. Connect. I used to know the version numbers of BL-Heli 32. I don't remember them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's not a great sign. Christ's sake. Oh, it's BL-Heli S. Oh, that is a good thing, yo. Amazing. Boy, is it a weird world that something being 8-bit instead of 32-bit is actually a good thing. I'll be damned. That is That is awesome, though. What version? Oh, you know what? It's not even on Blue Jay. This is on BLHeliS. Those are BLHeliS startup tones, aren't they? It'll tell us in 1 second. Yup, BLHeliS 16.7. That's funny. All right, flash all ESCs. Screw it. We'll... Oh, no, right. Blue Jay. There we go. I'm not going to do 0.16. I'm going to put it on to 0.21. We'll do 48 and flash. Just out of curiosity, GH30. Let's see if GH30 is in this list of 0.16 BLHelis. What did I say? GH or BH? GH30. GL, GH, GH, yeah, there it is, GH30. I'll download it, what the hell. I am going to leave this on 0.21 though. All right. Cool. This is about all. I'm going to get the motor spinning the right direction, but then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to make you guys watch me go through all the other bullshit. Medium timing, leave minimum and maximum startup power alone. Beep. Wait, which one is startup beeps? Volume of the startup beeps. Startup beeps on big loud rigs like this, I actually turn them down. Turn it down to like 8, but then the beacon delay I'll still turn up a little bit. And then change this to 2 minutes. If it's stuck in a tree for 2 minutes, it'll start beeping and screaming at you. 2S plus, great. Listen to how much quieter this makes it, right? I turn the beep strength down. Ready? Power cycling, power off. Check this out. Powering back on. Isn't that nice? Webcam. The Canon shit the bed again. That's like tiny levels of initial beep strength. I like that a lot. The initial beeps, you just don't need those to be loud. There's no real reason for them to be loud. All right, let's get these motors spinning in the right direction. So first thing we need to do is reorder the motors because they're in the wrong spot since I have this AIO rotated in here. All right, so the startup power is not enough for this to spin these actual motors. So, man, the Blue Jay devs are, I'm sorry, but they are just kind of full of shit sometimes. They keep saying that this new version is what you need to run and that everything is perfect on it and that needing to push up the startup power is a sign that the older versions of Blue Jay were broken, but I've yet to have this new version of Blue Jay have enough startup power to spin any motors. In fairness, I guess I am running this off of 2S, but still, come on. There it goes. Now it's spinning. So that is right front. That is left front. And now it's going to go right rear. Yeah, of course. And then left rear. There we go. Save that. So now the motors are in the right spots. That does the resource remapping. And Yoki says, do you know if the Air 75 ships with Blue Jay? It does. All right. That's good. Motors tab. Now we're going to get them spinning the right direction. Cool. Motor 1 is fine. 2 is wrong. 3 is wrong. 4 is correct. And look, it did actually reverse the direction that the motors were spinning, which is the main thing that I wanted to check. I'm sort of keeping like a bit of a mental tally and live stream backed up tally as to how often the motor direction thing will actually work. And I'm trying to build a pattern. I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't work sometimes. So yeah, I've yet to figure that out though. I've yet to figure out any kind of a pattern to that. Hey! Wow, that came back. That camera came back on quick. All right, we're good. That's all I'm going to subject you guys to. I will finish the rest of the Betaflight setup and then try to figure out what the hell... The biggest part of that is going to be trying to figure out what pads I've soldered what things to on here. So I'm going to need to like look up the wiring diagram for this and then get all up in there. And yeah, I'm not going to subject you guys to that. That's just kind of a silly thing. But I've got to do it. Thanks for hanging, friends. Thrash FPV with the last question in the live stream. It says, do you need Part 107 for an indoor flight for a client? Anytime that you're flying for a client, you need a Part 107. And if not, if you spend even a second outside, like flying in through window doors and make Part 107 needed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're flying for a client, if you are... Oh, I forget the exact wording, but basically if there's any exchange of like money or goods or whatever for the flight, then yes, you need to have a Part 107. Flying inside, it is different because it's not FAA air. Wait, hold on. No, and Yoki might be right. Shit, fucking the FAA's rules are such a pain in the ass. There's so much gray area, and it's so like weird. Let's see how good Google is. Oh. This will have it. I mean, oh, nope. Drone U. There we go. Yes, you can, in fact, make money off indoor footage without being a licensed pilot because interiors are not navigatable air. Right. Here's the long and short of it. If you're flying inside, there is no chance that you're going to interfere with anything that the FAA cares about. Airspace, right? You're not going to get in the way of a helicopter. You're not going to get away of an airliner. So flying indoors is totally fine. The FAA doesn't... There's no reason... Oh, fucking... Oh! There's no reason for the FAA to care about whether or not you're making money. All they care about is that you bring down an actual airliner or a helicopter or something like that, right? The FAA doesn't care about us making money or not making money. And so which is interesting because that's always been a little bit weird for me with like, well, why do they care if it's for commercial purposes outside, right? Like they care about the airspace. They don't care about if we're making money. And so, like, why shouldn't everyone have to get a Part 107? I guess it's because, you know, the 7-year-old that buys a Cinewhoop, we don't care about him. But, yeah. There it is. William Loesch says, I'm out of date, I feel, using a Mob 6 2024 with the old Meteor 65 frame, ballsack canopy, run cam Nano 3, Gemfan biblades. That's most of my builds, so you're as out of date as I am. William Loesch says, best frame / 2024 Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. Best frame are the cockroach frames, the V3 and or the Light AF. And then if you just take a Mobula 6 2024 and drop it into one of those frames, in my opinion, that's pretty close, if not better than the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. So yeah, there we go. I don't know why it's not coming back up. It should be coming back up, but it's not this time. Let's unplug and replug again. Hey, there it is. Thanks for coming, friends. Sorry for all the technical problems. Send an email to Canon and say, hey, assholes, fix your fucking software, you giant pieces of shit. Stop making the software worse. I'll see you guys. You know what? I'm worried that the older version of the Canon software is not gonna run on. Oh man, I may have totally fucked myself over. I updated to Mac OS Sequoia. I just realized that the older versions of the Canon software might not work with Sequoia, and I don't know if you can backdate system software. I guess you kind of have to be able to, right? I hate everything. Everything is so awful all the time. Why is it like this? Why does it have to be like this? Good luck, friends. See you guys on Wednesday. Mina Jesus says, when I get a nice 4K webcam, prices have come way down because webcams still look like shit compared to DSLRs. Webcams don't have the right... webcams still pale in comparison to a proper camera. I might, though, I might have to get a different camera. I might, at this point, have to get off of Canon, which would not be a terrible thing because the EOS webcam software has always been horrendously bad. So yeah, I don't know, but this is an awful lot more expensive thing, and doing FPV as a full-time job is not a great way of making a lot of money. So that has its own problems, but whatever. Be good, friends. I'll see you on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. There it is. Here's me flying the 2S Walksnail rig out in the front yard again. No. Yeah, that's all I got. Here's me flying it in low light in the front yard with the 803 motors that were not terrible, but not great either. Happy Halloween, friends! I guess we have Wednesday stream and then it's Halloween. But here's your Halloween flight content. Bye!